Responding to the exploding population of innocent children orphaned by the HIV/AIDS pandemic in the Lake Victoria area of Western Kenya, concerned Christians from around the world came together in 2003 to establish Gethsemane Garden Christian Center. Hope is being given to the hopeless. The innocent are being rescued, and the next generation is being equipped to lead their tribe on a new path, a path with Jesus Christ.
When I was hungry, you gave me something to eat. I was thirsty, and you gave me something to drink.
I was a stranger, and you invited me in.
Before Gethsemane Garden Christian Center started, there was very little hope.
The HIV/AIDS pandemic swept that area of Lake Victoria.
The people were destitute. I believe it's 43% of the population there has HIV.
So many are infected. Some of them because of polygamy, because of wife inheritance, and so many traditions.
When you walk around to different villages, all you see are very young people and very old people. The centerpiece of the population has just been wiped out.
All those children were left to just fare for themselves.
These kids have been through so much. They've lost family members, lost parents, been in poverty, not knowing when they're going to eat their next meal.
These kids are not going to be able to get an education. I mean, they can't get food. An education is the furthest thing from their mind.
The boys are having to survive by either fishing or working somehow.
For the girls, if they don't get an education and a job, the likelihood of them going into prostitution is very great.
These kids are hopeless. They have nothing. So that's what's created the need for Gethsemane Garden Christian Center.
The body of Christ galvanized and said, these are children that we care about, that Christ loves, and we can do something about it.
We opened the doors for orphans here at Gethsemane in the year 2003.
Initially, we were just trying to get these orphans into a bed and feed them 3 meals a day and give them a Christian education.
The school has taken in the orphans and given them a wonderful education, clean food, clothing.
And when they come to the school, they find love and safety and food and protection, and they are just overjoyed and so grateful for the opportunity to be part of what's going on there.
Our strongest area of focus is to start with the youth, to start with the children, start with them when they are still young, and instill those morals, instill those values at a very tender age.
These children are going to be among the best educated in Kenya, but more than that, they've got a strong spiritual base.
I was just overwhelmed with how much they already knew in their mature relationship with Christ already.
They learn who God is, that God is love, and that Jesus Christ died for them and cares for them. And as a result of that, lives are changed.
There was a girl who was in 3rd grade, and I was asking if someone would pray, and she stood up and she prayed, and I tell you what, I mean, she walked so closely with the Lord. She should have been teaching.
There was one particular child, his name was Paul. On the last break from school, he went home and led 30 people to Christ. His goal was to lead 50 people to Christ.
So these kids really are commissioned already as young men and women of God to really go out even to just their own communities on the island and share Christ.
Once the school began and they began to see the change in the children, suddenly hope came to the entire people group.
That island has been spiritually transformed, and the impact of the gospel in that area has been phenomenal, so that even government officials, fairly hard-headed, skeptical government officials in Nairobi or elsewhere realize something's going on here.
They're much more open about hearing about the saving grace of Christ.
There was a great appreciation for the change that had come to that community as a result of the gospel light that comes through that school.
Well, we started with grades K through 3 with 110 students.
Every year there's been a grade added to the school, and so this is our first year of having high school kids.
And we had to add a science lab and a computer lab on an island with no electricity.
There is what we're calling an upper school that's being built right now.
Upper school students need more advanced classrooms.
All the things that high schoolers need really to get that top-notch education.
So we're going to have tremendous needs to maintain the growth, to get these students through the 12th grade and prepare to send them off into the future.
It is a great investment for the future because you can imagine hundreds of young people who are empowered, who are educated, who know the Lord.
I know I'm going to hear great stories about these kids and what they've accomplished.
The little boy that we support has decided he wants to be a pilot.
These are the future leaders of Kenya.
Other children wanted to be lawyers or doctors, and a lot of them wanted to come back and minister in their community.
All they need is this opportunity. They are so grateful for it. I couldn't imagine what it'd be like if they didn't have that.
These children would be lost. They wouldn't know where to go. They wouldn't have any place to live.
Most of them probably wouldn't be around. They would have died.
Speaking as a pastor, it is very, very difficult to know where should our funds go. Here is something which has been there for several years. It has been tremendously successful, and the living power of Jesus Christ is transforming lives and is bringing hope where once there was darkness.
It very much is about the Kenyan people being granted the resources through God's people in order to be able to care for their children and to grow them up to be other Kenyans who in turn can mentor and teach and help other people.
It will be such a blessing that will spill over to the entire country of Kenya, to Africa, and who knows, to the entire world.